The American Treasury Secretary just said that America should prepare for the discontinuation of dollar as the primary reserve currency. American Treasury Secretary just said that America should prepare for the discontinuation of dollar as the primary reserve currency. I just looked at it. It's not my business, but let me just say something. Like, why would they even be allowed to get to this point? And the fact that they allowed this whole situation get to this degenerate to this point, funny enough. My name is you get it degenerate to this point is quite funny. I should expect that people of that level of sophistication should be able to foresee stuff like this and then guide against it. You get it? There's no reason for anybody to use the US dollar as reserve currency or as a medium of trade. There's absolutely no reason. There's no logical reason for it. It is just we are just doing the Americans a favor. Pure and simple. Because look, what started this whole thing? It was when America was at the end of World War II. America was the only country that was in the gold standard, at least somewhat in the gold standard. You get it? And stuff like that. So everybody decided that at the end of that war, okay, let us all peg our money against the US dollar and then let them peg their dollar against the dollar. At least there should be some form of stability. So the US dollar should be on the gold standard. You get only for them for Nixon to come and take American dollar out of the gold standard You get it? And people just decided to just continue. At that point, there was no reason, there's no justification. Because nobody could actually go against them. First of all, there was no France. The leader of France was the major, they really didn't like, they're not very fond of Americans. But the leaders, the nationalistic leaders that were that were strongly anti-American, were no longer there. They were just normal, regular politicians. And also, you also know there was also the Cold War. So it was like there was a lot of tension. So people were trying to take sides and stuff like that. So they prefer the economic capitalist system and stuff like that. So US dollars. The ruble on the other end of the divide was not strong enough to be used as a reserve currency. So they just decided to just continue. And the Americans, they did a very smart thing then. You get it? They said they made this rule that you cannot, even though we are in conflict, that you cannot bring the financial system into conflict. And that was a very smart move in the sense that, look, that move was not for their enemies, it was for them. Because, look, for example, if I'm fighting with you, and then I realize that, okay, you can use anything to fight against me, but you have already made a rule that nobody can bring financial system into war. You get it? You have kind of found a way to safeguard your own economy because at that point the American economy was sustained by the fact that the whole world was using the US dollar as it was pegged to the global economy. You get it? So they can just be printing their money like that. The only way the American dollar will go down is if the global economy goes down. You get what I'm trying to say? So they now use that rule as a threat to safeguard their economy from the fallout of any political decisions they make. That was a very genius move. It was sneaky. It was deceptive, but at least to their own, it was genius. For their own interest. That was a genius move. Sure, you get it. So they can fight all the wars that they were fighting. They could do anything funded by this same dollar that is sustained by their enemy's economy, and they not have any fear that the enemy will stop using the US dollar because they'll be alone in it. Nobody was going to fool them. You get it? And then all of a sudden, you left that very important thing. What makes you think that any other person can't just go to their printing press and start printing their own money to use? Why wouldn't they? Like, why? What makes you so special? Yet only for you to come and you are having a conflict. It was not even a direct conflict. A conflict is not straightforward. You get some people can argue that it was Russia's fault, some people can argue it's US fault and everything. But at least most people will blame even the West that you are the ones that provoked these guys. I'm trying to say. And then you now brought in that thing that was safeguarding your economy, you now brought it into the conflict because you didn't have anything against this guy. This guy you had threatened him in 2014. He had listened out, oh wow, so you guys can go to that extent, no problem. He went back, disconnected his economy because the economic system is not just import and export that determines the health of the GDP or the GDP of a country. There are other things, government spending, consumption. They kind of disconnected the import and export component from the economy and made the economy self-sustainable. And this is Russia. It is very large. They can feed themselves. They have industrial raw materials. They have so many things that their economy might not be like high tech. You get it, but to sustain the economy at this level, they had the ability to do that, and they just did that. It took 7 years for him to do that. And when he was ready, you guys were still pushing towards their borders. And they told you that don't enter. This guy had already prepared for you guys. You guys were still busy doing whatever you're doing. And then you came, you started putting sanctions. It didn't work. Your last, in your mind, your last trump card and everything that you had was the financial system. And you took away their money and stuff like that. They were doing you a favor for trading. They didn't have any reason. There was no justification for them to use the US dollar to trade their commodities. But they just decided of their own volition to do it. They were not, you don't have any justification, and then you seize their money. You think the whole world are not going to be looking at that, but you think these guys do. So that's your golden rule that you've contravened it. Now everybody is not trying to find their way, and then you are now do you know what the impact is going to have? You've printed so much dollars. How are you going to account for it? If everybody now start to, because like it's going to start happening. These guys, they don't even need to peg their own currency to go, so they can just print it like that and all agree that this is our legal tender. This is another alternative. There's nothing you can do. You get it, but they now pegged it against the gold standard. Where are you going to get gold to peg the whole of the dollars that you've printed? Don't you have people who are forward thinking? How did you do that? That was a very nasty move. You would have done whatever you wanted to do, sanction whatever you just leave the financial system out of it, because you are shooting yourself in the hand, not even in the foot. You are shooting yourself, your femur. You understand? You are sawing your leg off. You are hurting yourself. And then you've done it now. The whole world is just like, let us find a way. Everybody are not trading with their local currencies. Like they probably should have been doing it much earlier. Now you can't get out of where. If they had done it a little, maybe like a few years after that, the impact on your economy won't have been much. Now you don't have anything. You don't have gold. Your production is done outside of your country. Every other thing is done outside. Just some few things. What do you want to peg your dollar on? Now. It's going to cause a crisis, and it will wipe a whole generation. I don't know. Nobody knows how the impact that is going to have on the American economy. Nobody knows. Economists are sitting down, they are watching with their biros and pens to jot, to take note of what can happen. It might go the way of Argentina. Nobody knows how it's going to. There might be hyperinflation at a scale that will just wipe out the whole of the US economy, and you don't have loyal capitalists. Many of your business people are very disloyal. They'll just take their money out from the country. And you see it's going to become a catastrophe. You understand? I just hope that you don't even have your oil. I don't know. I just felt like I should just say something about it and everything, because it's somehow to me, and for the life of me, I can't explain why certain decisions were made. But who am I? Just an engineer. Thank you very much. Just have a wonderful